David Ledbetter opens up, demonstrating how he'll paint the black on the outside part of the plate against left-handed hitters. This is his first pitch of the ball game. 4 of David Ledbetter's 6 strikeouts come against left-handed hitters, 2 uncalled, third strikes on the outside corner. Devin Ahart, twice rung up, makes no headway in pleading his case to home plate umpire Jesse Orozco. 666 is a number applicable to this beast this night. David Ledbetter earns his 6th win of the year, striking out 6 in his 6 innings of work. The win, the 3rd in a row for the 24-year-old workhorse who leads the Mavericks in innings pitched. 6 Ks this night give him 92 in his 109-plus innings of work. So very fitting that David Ledbetter's family and friends are here from Indiana to see one of his best games of the year. Sherrie, has it always been that successful? Or, well, no, let's put it this way. How many trips have you guys made to California the last season?
Wow. I don't know if I can count how many we've made. We've made several. And it has not been that successful. We have our ups and downs, but it's always been fun.
Ron, describe the meeting you got from a young lady when you walked in the gate the last time that you were here.
Yeah, that made me feel great. So we had just gotten here, and of course we're always anxious when David's pitching and prayerful about it and excited about it. And we walked in, and a little gal whom I know now is Riley. I had this shirt on. In fact, she asked me to wear it again tonight. And she said, "Where did you get that shirt?" And I said, "I got it from David Ledbetter." And she goes, "Do you know him?" And I said, "Well, I'm his dad." She goes, "Oh, I love him. I have that same shirt." So it was fun to make the immediate contact with her.
Well, and you've mentioned, too, that one development of these young men, now professional athletes, but they have made a concerted effort. What is the organization that they have put together?
Oh, they have a website. It's called SBS Side by Side Baseball, and I encourage you to go look at that. It is great. It's an opportunity not only to share training practices and tips of the game, if you would, but they also get to talk about their faith and how meaningful that is, and just making a difference in the lives of others along the way.
Take us back to the younger days of baseball with David and Ryan. Ron, was there a time when you could see, or an age and stage where you thought, these youngsters are gifted enough to where they could turn this into a college education and maybe even a career?
Right. If you ask them, they would probably say T-ball or first grade or something like that. But I would say when they started to play travel baseball in a little broader scale, like age 14, 15, and so not playing at school anymore, but playing kids that are pretty good at in a broader geography, and they started to play well, and we started to think, well, there might be something there. And then they won the state high school tournament back-to-back 2 years, and that, we really felt like then there might be something there for them.
Sherrie, take us back to draft day 2013 and the Ledbetter household, the degree of excitement and how that all came about.
Well, as soon as we turned on the computer, they mentioned David's name. Both of the boys go by their middle names, so they announced Jeffrey Ledbetter. We were very surprised. We didn't expect him to go in the 3rd round. And all of us kind of looked at each other and said, do they mean David? So that was a surprise. And then we waited the rest of that day through to the next day for Ryan. And they said Joseph Ryan, of course, on that day. But he went in the 19th round, and we were very excited. Weren't sure if both of them would get it, but they did, so we were excited.
And what are the chances or odds going in that they both would be drafted by the Texas Rangers? Did you have an inkling that could happen because of the way they've been scouted, or was that a complete surprise?
Our agent had said, he started to prepare us that the likelihood of that is very, very low. And I used that line that Jim Carrey used, in Dumb and Dumber. So what you're saying is that we still got a chance, and sure enough, it came true, and it was really the answer to a prayer for the boys and for us, and a dream come true for us.
Well, thank you for this conversation. It is great seeing you out here. Hope that this is the last trip, because you got Ryan already up into AA play. And David, vast improvements. In fact, you were here for what I think it was for sure his best home game this year, and it's so much fun following these ball players and then being able to speak to you and get kind of the family side perspective of it all. Thank you for these comments, and hope things continue to go well for you.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for having us.
Nice job. Way to go.
Identical twins, pitchers David and Ryan Ledbetter, are interviewed and compared by a Mavericks catcher who has caught up with them both.
First of all, welcome back among a number of High Desert Mavericks who were here in the season 2015 compared to 2016. Any big change in what we see from David Ledbetter this season compared to last season, David?
Just probably a more laid-back David Ledbetter. Oh. You know, baseball's kind of a game where the more you learn that you there's so much to learn, you know? So you can never know enough, and so last season was a great trial for me, but I wouldn't be the man I am today if I wouldn't have had last year in High Desert.
What about you in terms of preparation? Anything different, anything more, or let me put it this way, what are you working on most to improve as a pitcher this season, day in and day out?
Definitely my mental game. My tools are there. I just need to continue to have the mindset of a pitcher, of a killer on the mound, instead of just going up there and throwing the baseball, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it sure does. Tell me this much too also, when we look back and look ahead, you with day in and day out preparation as a relief pitcher, how does that differ from the same routines as David as a starter?
David has more of a structure throughout his season, so he'll have, you know, this day I do this day I do this day I do this. Whereas for a reliever, it's I might go in the game today, so I need to do these things in order to get prepared for the game. But if I don't do this, then I can do this after the game as well. So it's a little bit more sketchy, but you can have it's again, for me, I think it's more mental preparation. As a reliever, you need to be able to be mentally prepared at any moment.
Let's talk about a couple of the pitchers. You have caught both Ledbetters. Are they the same personality-wise, or are they altogether different?
No, they're the same personality. I never see some twins like they look exactly, talk exactly, everything is the same. But pitching-wise, they're two different pitchers. And our starter, David, he got a good command, good breaking balls. He's pretty good, like controlling the zone or whatever. The other, Ryan, he's like a more power pitcher, late inning guy. He throws harder than David. Last year he had a little, he got struggling a little bit, but this year is a brand new year and brand new pitcher. They look really good this year.
How about the rivalry or the competition between you and a twin brother? As I mentioned to David, your mother will understand the way I asked the question if I mention the Smothers Brothers comedy routine of many decades past, where one always said, "Mom always liked you better," but as David said, you know, has one been the favorite of the other, or is the love really shared equally?
No, it's really shared equally. Our parents have been incredible in our upbringing and showing us both love. You know, we're a Christian family, and they have been really good in showing us like the love of Jesus throughout our entire lives, and always equal, always willing to go the extra mile to show us that they love us. So there's not really any favoritism there. It doesn't feel like, at least.
Is Ryan the favorite? Is David the favorite? Or is it like most parents, you love them each, but you can't say one is a greater favorite than the other?
I think you're hardly going to find someone ever say that they're the favorite. But I truly think that my parents love Ryan and I both the same exact amount. We actually think our younger sister is the favorite, but I think that's our go-to, and she'll probably say that we're the favorites. So,
how much of a boost and impetus is it when you know the family's out? Your mom has promised to come out and see you guys this summer. Does that make a difference when you're out there on the mound, or do you have to put everything like that aside?
No, you gotta. I mean, the mound is a haven of peace out there for most guys. For me, it's just a way. It's where you just let your instincts play. You know, like you can't think about anything. All you're thinking about is competing that pitch. So as soon as you bring all the other stuff in there, that's when you think too much.
What about the day and the days of the draft? I can only assume and imagine when David was, I believe, a third-round selection, it was everything supportive and cheering for him, and then just hoping as soon as possible you'd be called next.
Exactly. That's exactly the way it was. We were just, oh, like, did you hear that third round? Let's go. And then we were just waiting, hoping that I could join him. And then actually it worked out that we're on the same team, same organization now. So God's plan, always sovereign.
Very, very good. And I really enjoy and appreciate those comments in those respects. Any advice you give for the young pitchers that are wanting to be, whether Little League, high school, on up to college pitchers, if they want to make a profession of this, what are some things that you would advise or advice you would offer?
Number one, you got to make time for it. That's the biggest thing, I think, is consistency and continuing to get better every day and making purpose behind each pitch you throw, each hit you take. Every rep matters. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner that you determine yourself to go after a goal like that, the quicker that you'll get there. The more ahead of the competition that you'll be. And I think that's what I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger.
Ryan, I really appreciate these comments. Good luck as we get further into this season, and appreciate this. We'll get it online and make sure that everybody back home and in Cedarburg gets a chance to see it.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry.
1 week into the season, are you seeing notable differences between 2015 and 2016? I mean, this team really seems like it's loaded for bear and delivering, and has been very successful right out of the gate.
Yeah, we definitely have a different chemistry than last year, and we kind of went into the season understanding what we have to do in order to have success while we're here, and then our preparation has been better regarding, you know, the wind, the elevation, whatever you want to call all this, you know, the nonsense that high desert brings about with it.
You saw
That's a big thing.
Demonstrating tremendous improvement from start to finish to end of season, and an outstanding first start this year. Was that the epitome of pitching to contact?
Yeah, you just got to go out there and compete. I mean, the California League is a notorious hitters league, especially high desert. So as a pitcher, the one thing you can do is limit walks and then obviously pitch to contact. You're not trying to load the bases up because a pop fly can soon be a home run very quickly here. So, I mean, I had a lot of walks that game, but the defense helped me out a ton. And and you have to trust your defense no matter where you're at. So.
Any major difference? Well, I know there are. What are some of the major differences in your day in and day out preparation being a starter compared to brother Ryan as a relief pitcher?
Well, for one, I get much more of a routine, much more of a schedule. With Ryan, he could be back-to-back days, or he's typically every other day, as opposed to me, I know exactly when I'm going to throw. So there are days when I can throw a lot more, and then days I can throw a lot less, and I'll be okay. I'll be able to recover. But for him, he has to stay consistently with, you know, like 90 feet every day and really practice throwing strikes in and out every day. I mean, everybody's got to do that, but.
What are the biggest differences, amateur baseball to professional baseball, in your case as a pitcher?
Well, I'd say going to Cedarville, I was a big fish in a small pond. And then as soon as you get drafted, you know, everyone's a small pond. Or everyone's a small fish in a big pond, except for those rare occasions. But you have to just trust your stuff. No matter where you're at, always believe the job done. If you can do that, then you'll be fine pitching no matter anywhere. You can high desert and do well.
Is that the answer to the question that I did preview? Is any advice for the young pitchers from Little League on up to high school to community college pitchers? And what advice do you have for them to try to persevere and make this a career as you have?
Just trust your stuff. Never take any day for granted either. Always try and get a little bit better every single day. If you can do that, then you'll be the best player to ever live. But the idea is what you want to incorporate in your daily routine. How can I get a little bit better than today?